Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Tuesday, July 19th. Now, the situation through this trend here is it's a little bit sort of messy. We can put a wave C in here, and that means we'd have to count this as 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4, and then down for 5. We could also look at this as down for 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, and a fourth wave here and a fifth wave. But we've got overlapping wave structures here. There's a few ways that this can be counted, and I think at the end of the day, of course it matters, but in a way it sort of doesn't matter as well, because what's happening here, we've either got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to that top, and we've traded long up to here and we've gotten out, and we'll check on that in a moment. So we've either got that and we move down from this point, or we just come down as a little corrective move, and then we have another move up. And if we're going to have another move up, well, then we're going to have a correction, and then we're going to have another move up again as well, and that will give us 5 waves up. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that could be significant, and we could also come down from that point, but it also could mean that we go up further at that point too, but we would have to validate that in terms of getting an ABC correction, or being able to see something else that's going on in the market that gives us that hope that the market will move up further. So this move that we traded up here as being long here, we can go long above the top, or we can buy the pullback in a way. So let's just go into that space and check on that. So even though we don't know what's sort of going on in the bigger picture, at this degree of structure we'll be able to work out sort of where we are. So we could look at this as wave 3 with an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then we just come down from that point. That's possible. You could label this this wave 3 and this wave 4 something else as well, and still be corrective and still come down. So if you've done that, that's okay as well. But what we're sort of looking at with the US markets is that you see how this top here took this top out here. Well, then that satisfies it really as being a C wave here. But in the US markets, we've only gotten sort of up here somewhere with the markets, and we're still left with this corrective pattern here, you know. So that means there's a high probability that we need to be looking higher for the US markets, and if we're looking higher for the US markets, then we need to be looking higher for the European markets. Now, I was quite happy with that with the FTSE, but now we need to translate this to this market. So let's just clean some of this up. We don't need that anymore. That could come in handy. I'll just bring that out of the way there, and we can use that. Well, we can put that on the top there. That's that. So this counts quite nicely with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, okay, I can do work with that. That's okay. So I'm going to put wave 1 here as being a bit predominant in this case, and then look at wave A coming down, and then wave B coming back, and then wave C coming back here as well. We could look at this as a starting point, put some flags in the sand. And put this here. Not that it has to come back to this point. It could come back to this point and could hit it 61.8% perfectly, or it could come down further, or it could fall short and all the rest of it. But what we're really looking for is I don't know if this is finished. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, 2, 3 here. So there may be another little move down here to finish that off, but basically it doesn't really matter. I don't think you should trade this, get involved in any of this here. And then what we're looking for is this, right? Once we've got this, something like this, it will look like completely different, but it'll be something like that, same but different. That low could be on there. It looks like we could have a low in that on the S&P and that, so we're probably looking at it. It just doesn't sort of feel right at this point. But either way, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, one of these guys here. We're looking for the B wave here. And once we've got the B wave in, then you can grab that thin green line and put it over here for that. Now, the thing is that we also need to consider this a top being in play here. So what we can do, we can look at the speed of the A wave, which is just that line there, and then we can have a look at the the wave C over here. So if the wave C here is sharper down, I'll just do it here, is sharper down here, then it's likely that this is down for wave 1 here, back for 2, and then down, coming down sharper. If it's the same angle or even less of an angle here for the wave C, then you know it's a wave C. If it's lazy, then you know that it's bullish. The lazy are something, that's why I like corrections that travel sideways are quite strong, because they don't want to go down, you know, and the less that they want to go down, the better in most cases, you know, except when you're building, you know, when you're building it of 1s and 2s here, and then you get your 3s and 4s coming in a bit more sort of sideways. And yeah, so that's sort of where we are really. So we were thinking about being long over here for this, and bringing the B wave down over here, and also over here as well, look for a classic trading levels pattern here. So looking for that, if that's the 13,000, looking for that pattern across there for that. So the only reason to buy it back in the box here would be if this angle here is at this point. Now, I think the time I do the video tomorrow, we should be around this area here somewhere. So we'll pick it up at that point, because today's was this move and that move. So hopefully over through the off hours and the next session will bring us down to this point here. Anyway, that's what we're sort of looking at, and we can look at that with the stock 50 as well. It's possible to count this as the 4th wave coming back here, but I really need to put it as wave 1 with the rest of the markets. And here we don't have 5 waves down just yet, unless we're going to pick some holes in here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be wave 3 to this point, and wave 4 and wave 5. We could have that in there at that point. Just very small, but then again we've got a very large ABC for wave 2 here for this, so a little bit odd. Anyway, look, it doesn't matter if I get it wrong and it comes down to here first before going back up to here, then that's okay too. But this will likely be a B wave. The only reason we don't need any of this now either, so we'll go long here, and then eventually, all said and done, we'll bring that down to the top of the B wave there, and we'll just bring this out of the way down here for the time being. So yeah, that's it for the stock 50. And for the FTSE, this is the FTSE here. This is just a 5,000 tick chart, and not. Then yesterday we were down here somewhere, and we knew that we're going to get 5 waves to the upside. So that's what that's all about. So now we can put that on top there. And at the same time, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming back, and then a push up from that point. So then you can copy that and put that over here for that, and that will be the long trade set up at that point. Because over here we looked at this as being an impulse wave here, and then a corrective wave, and then an impulse wave to here. So we could look at it as 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This is corrective. A little bit unsure about how to count that, but it's corrective as well. I mean, it's part of a bigger correction. So when I look at the daily chart, I think it is, let me just move my video Camtasia recorder out of the way and come back here to the daily chart. And yeah, so we were looking at it like this here. So possible larger triangle in play before we head higher at that point, so something of that nature. I mean, this market's held up quite well, so you know, US markets, when they have their 5 waves up, they could make new lows down here as well, make new lows, but this market's sort of holding up quite nicely. Look, it makes a nice triangle until it doesn't, so we'll just run with that. So we were looking at that being 5 waves up for the A wave. This was a mess here, so we'll call that a B wave, and then we're looking for wave C up here. So in that wave C here, we were looking for 5 waves up, so we've got wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here, may reach the trend line, who knows, but we want to trade this leg here up in that space. That's our game plan for that. And going over to the FX side of things, I was looking at this as a wave 3 top with an A and a B and a C for wave 4. If I've made a mistake, then we've got wave 5 top in here. I won't know that until I see more price action over here for this. Otherwise, we'll look at this as the A wave, the ABC for the B wave, and down for the C wave as wave 4 at that point, and then up for wave 5, and we can put that over there. So yeah, that's where we are with this at the moment. So we're just going to color this into gray here. So this has got a lot, to work with, with the indices as well. That kind of move in with all of this. So yeah, but the euro. So if this is going to be an A, B, C here for wave 4, then we've been long in the euro while the US dollar's pulling back, and we also want to be long over here for the euro, and then we want to be short in the euro going up there. So we talked about taking profit in all of this, so we don't need these now, so that's all good. And we don't need, we can use these, that's always helpful. I'll just leave this out of the way over here. So this green one we can put at the top here, we can bring it over to the B wave. I'll just leave it there for the moment. But once again, we've got 3 waves down here. We want to get 5 waves down here, and then the B wave, and then the C wave at that point. So then I don't want to trade in here. It's just too, it's just too choppy. So we'll just chill, and we'll pick it up over here for this, and we'll look to go along now. An A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 4. If I've got that wrong and we've got a low in place, well then we'll look at this as wave 1 and 2. But I won't know that, and I won't know that for a long time, So I'll just go with the ABC until we know, but that's it. So we traded through here. We're not going to trade through here, but we will look to trade in this leg over here for this, which will be, we'll see how that sort of plays out at that point. Obviously we go long above the top, then the B wave. We could also just draw a line through here and go long like that through the top here and here and here for that. We'll see how, I just want to see how sharp this looks first, So there's many roads to Rome, but we'll just see how it plays out. If it trades below we've got major level here. I'm just going to remove this one. And then we've got 1, 2, and 3 here. So those 3 make up group 1. And we can use the lower end of group 1 here. If the market ducks down below here and then finds support on here, then like this here, a bit more example, but so this will be okay. So we've had the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the move down. So we can go long above that top. We could also bring it down to that second top here. So if the market comes down here, just come on, down here, then it'll give us a pattern to the upside here. It'll give us something like we just talked about. It'll be some sort of arrival reaction, first high above the level, and then we can look to build in here. Because as this is group 1 here, 1, 2, and 3, between 1 and 2 here, we have the Fibonacci numbers running again. So we also have group 1 in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. We can also use group 2 in here as well for that. So the idea with group 1 is to build in. So if I was trading here, I'd try to get 1 on the level here if I could on the breakthrough. Then there's another little classic trading levels pattern in here. There's nothing here, but I'd still go for that. So I'd get 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and look for support on top of 3. Once I've got 3, that will get me to 5 in one case or another. And that's how, if I was intraday trade, if this is, a big stock as well, going from $1 to $2 to $3, $5. That's the way I trade it. So yeah, this is the, if you want to build in at the beginning of the trend, that's your friend, group 1. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Cheers.